Hello folks, why should one do an MBA? And so I'm not answering the question why MBA that you get asked in an interview. I'm saying why should anyone do an MBA? And so if you're born into a certain type of family, lucky enough to be born in middle class India, then undergraduation is built in. You can't say after class 10, okay, I'm stopping. So you have to do that. But after that, MBA is usually a matter of some form of choice. It's either running away from your undergraduation, staying away from prolong or pushing away working somewhere, something, but it's a choice. You're saying, look, I want to do an MBA. And why should anyone do an MBA? And so let me check out the tangible, clear, measurable answers first. Then I'll go to the vibes-based answer. And so the tangible, clear answer, you get paid more. And you get paid a lot of money. Typical MBA in India or the top 10 colleges these days give 35 lakhs per annum to their candidates. And I don't know why they do, but they do. And so since I'm not paying, I don't need to justify it, but the average pay packet for the top 10 colleges is 35 lakhs per annum. If you go to college rank number 30, it's 28, 27 lakhs per annum. Go to college rank number 60, 70, 80, it's still 18, 20 lakhs per annum, which is a staggering amount of money to start your career from. And the growth is built in from there. Right? One, because the economy has grown. It's immeasurably larger than what it was 20 years ago. And it looks like we could be on a trajectory of growth from here on in. So it's playing a huge role in companies saying, look, this is still meaningful, paying that much amount of money to an MBA, to a good candidate who has the ability to figure out how this business can be built, grown, taken to the next level, etc., etc., etc. And so the pay is very good. And so the second thing is, it's not just a pay that you start off with. It's a career progression that is accelerated. So very often we think that 35 lakhs per annum, and then from here on, how much more can it grow? It can grow. Somebody who starts their career at 5 lakhs per annum, you can say, look, 5 lakhs per annum, 2 switches, in 4 or 5 years, he'll be earning 10 lakhs per annum. Exactly the same trajectory can happen at that number also. 35 lakhs per annum, guys are growing from there. So it can start flying. And there's a bigger and bigger trajectories, higher and higher trajectories available to even those earning these fat salaries. And so sometimes we think 35 lakh per annum, 10 साल बाद उसका शायद 42, 43 होगा. No. In 5-6 years, that doubles. So there are avenues for young graduates to hit staggering amounts of pay before they hit 30, 32. And so that trajectory is there and available as a mainstream possibility. Not like एक बंदे को मिल गया, 2 बंदों को मिल गया. नहीं. Everybody has a shot at that kind of career progression. So there is an element of staggering pay. There is an element of accelerated growth even from that pace. Right? There is an element of there not be an upper ceiling. If you're an exceptional worker, then you're saying, look, I can deliver this one thing phenomenally. Then you're building a skill set where you're delivering on one attribute. Then you have a career path for that. But probably there's a ceiling to that. Elements of knowing how to make the whole organization work, elements of being able to plan, elements of being able to market, sell, and manage logistics, everything, that is important the higher you go in your career. There are very, very few niche jobs that have an extraordinary spike without adding some managerial skill sets. And so the peak is also higher if you're doing an MBA. These are the things that are tangible, measurable, important, crucial, and they usually are, they hold good. Right? So why is the MBA, in what way has probably MBA as a proposition gotten worse? Right? There's only one thing that I can think of. It's the cost of an MBA. I did an MBA. The average pay packet was only about 6.5 lakhs per annum for Ahmedabad, Bangalore graduate. So which is not great by today's standard, but I finished 20 years ago. But the cost of an MBA was 2.2, 2.3 lakhs, not more than that. So we were getting an annual pay just 3 times the cost. So you can say, look, I'll hunker down and I'll pay off my education loan in 1 year. And it was very much possible to do that. And the next hike and all this was for yourself. These days, the cost of an MBA is probably 25 lakhs per annum. And the pay is probably 30 lakhs per annum, 32 lakhs per annum, 35 lakhs per annum. So you probably have a 2.5 year horizon to pay back your debt. Back then, 80% of the students used to be freshers. So the other alternative was very low. Here, guys go in after 3 years of experience. So you finish your undergraduation at 21, 22, you work for 3 years, do an MBA for 2 years, and then you become debt free after 3 years after that. We guys used to finish undergraduation at 21, 22, 2 years of MBA, 23, 24. By 24 and a half, 25, you're debt free and on a bigger trajectory. So that number looks slightly juicier back then, but the numbers are bigger now. You get to earn much bigger. Given a choice, I would want to work in this economy, not that. These are the measurable, clear, tangible, number-driven reasons for why you should do an MBA. There are a couple of other reasons as well. We are entering into a phase of potentially sustained high growth for our economy. And so, when the careers that my parents had, the guys who graduated college in the 70s, 80s, they found a job, stuck to it for a lifetime. That was their career. They worked in a place for 25 years, 30 years, 35 years, then retired from there, had their pension, had other things to do. They didn't think about anything or much beyond delivering to what was required, and they were thinking about stable, long careers. And guys in my careers, guys who are, those of us who became graduates in 99, 2000, 2001, or 95 to 2005, for us, careers meant switching out in every 5 years, 6 years, 4 years, adding a skill set, adding one new thing to yourself, going to the next thing, finding the next challenge, going like that. For you guys, it's going to become de facto more entrepreneurial. What you're going to do in your career is going to be driven about what pitch you can make for and sense an opportunity and say, hey, I can deliver this to your company, this is what I want to do. Ability to define your CV beyond one set of skill sets and one degree. Being somebody who can work with a team and deliver something. Being someone who has a established record of multiple skill sets, that's something you can showcase. Being someone who's on the lookout for, hey, is there an opportunity there? Is there an opportunity there? Can I go and pitch test and grow that business? Can I take this idea to that place? Something like that. So careers and jobs are going to become more entrepreneurial. It's happened in a lot of countries. Going into a fast growing economy, the more entrepreneurial it gets, the bigger the economy becomes, the more entrepreneurial opportunities are. If you're a sales guy, then sooner or later you'll hit a point where your salary is 1% of the amount of sales you make. So you find different geographies to pitch, you different markets to guide, different guys to recruit, make money for yourself. And so that means your understanding of how business works, how industry works, how economy works, what's a fast growing thing, whether you can switch out to another industry, whether the skill sets are transferable, whether the new startup really has a pitch. All of those need to be better and really good in order to have a good career over a 40-year period. And an MBA definitely plays a role in that. I joined as a complete noob. When I joined my B school, I had no idea about economy. If I could take a pink paper and I would understand 0% of it. And I finished my MBA and I still wasn't clear about many things happening to the wider economy. But what I learned in the MBA and what I learned in my job, over a period of time, I could make sense, or I could kind of understand, okay, this CEO is conning people. That company is going to go kaput. This one, I don't even understand what their business is. This guys, they offer wonderful value. I think they'll grow. Your sense of how the wider market works and can fit in goes up. And that is going to be a super crucial skill set intangibly, where you can make better life decisions in terms of where you navigate and not get conned. Your ability to think critically, understand elements of the economy, they'll all get amped up. And those are going to be important factors. So that also plays a role. And so it is an expensive affair. It's not something that about middle class India can just take for granted. And so lots of MBAs these days cost 25 lakhs, and that's a lot of money. It's a pot of money. Typically, it tends to pay off. The payment horizon is 2.5 years, more than what it used to be 20 years ago. But the payoffs over a 35-year horizon are much larger. So it is super meaningful to think about it. It of course matters where you do your MBA. Kind of also matters when you do your MBA. I think the when part, barring some ups and downs and cycles, is good right now. We are poised for a 20-year purple patch. So definitely think about an MBA and definitely prepare seriously for it. The where part matters, which is why I'm saying, hey, you've got to prepare well for this exam. Give yourself a chance to finish from a top 15 college, then the next 15 or the 15 after that. So the CAT or your NMAT or your XAT or your GMAT, that matters, which means you must prepare well for it, because that can have a huge difference in your career trajectory, which obviously brings back to, hey, think about who I am. Best wishes for your career.